fine. On that note, I would like to thank Mr. Sharad Goyal and Mr. Rajiv Kalra, who've joined us from the Isha Foundation to share some beautiful thoughts and ways of how we can fix our own selves so that whatever comes in our life, we are there to face it. I would now like Mr. Rajiv Kalra to introduce himself and take the session forward.
Thank you, Isha ma'am.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible to everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Namaskaram, everyone, and welcome to this yoga session offered to support you during these challenging times. My name is Rajiv Karra, and I'm a Isha certified Hatha Yoga teacher. Today, I'm here to offer a simple set of practices designed by Sadhguru, which can improve your oxygen levels and boost your immunity. Before we start, there are a few things that we can take care of so that we experience this session in our best way possible. Please dedicate these next 30 to 40 minutes exclusively for this session. It would be best to use your headphones and a laptop to join the session. But if you're joining through your cell phones, please keep them in do not disturb mode. Please ensure there are no interruptions like getting up in between, using the restroom, taking calls, or checking the messages. Ensure you sit in a quiet and a private place free from any disturbances. Now, please take a moment to set the right image for yourself. Also, best way to sit and stay alert is sit on a flat surface in a cross-legged posture. Now take a moment and set the right ambience for yourself. That is fine. Whosoever has already made some arrangement to join the session, that is fine. Now Sadhguru will guide us through a powerful practice to increase the oxygen levels in our body. Please observe.
There is an asana, a yogic posture, which is called as Sashtang. The significance of this posture is that you touch 8 points of your body to the ground and hold it there. In this posture, the lung, particularly the lung, functions in a certain way, there are various aspects to it, but we are talking about enhancing oxygen levels in the system. The entire pulmonary system functions in a unique way in this asana. This is one of the most common asanas, which has gotten distorted in many ways in common use, where almost every devotee is supposed to go into this posture, but due to lack of instruction and understanding, people are just lying down on the ground. Here is a proper demonstration of Sashtang, or touching 8 points of your body to the ground, holding it that way and breathing slightly deeper than normal. Here, the forehead, chest, 2 hands, 2 knees and the big toes are on the floor, heels together, holding it this way. The breath will naturally become in a slightly exaggerated way. Hold it that way, if possible 6 to 7 minutes. Otherwise, start with 3 minutes. After you have done this for 6 to 7 minutes, relax your body so that the entire body touches the floor, and get into what is called as Makarasan. If you are a male person, keep right hand on top of the left hand. If you are a woman, keep left hand on top of the right hand, put your forehead on top of it and just let your body relax for 3 to 4 minutes. And then move your right leg in such a way that the thigh is at right angles to the body and below the knee is also at right angles to the thigh part of your leg. And turn your head to the right, eyes closed, normal breathing, and relax into this posture for 3 to 4 minutes. And do the same on the other side. Turn your head to the left side, get your left leg into that posture where it is almost like you're sitting on a chair. That is, your thigh is at right angles to the rest of the body, and below the knee, the shin and the calf muscle is also at right angles to the thigh, and your head is looking towards the left, placed upon your palms. And relax into this posture for 3 to 4 minutes. And once again, go into Sashtang for 6 to 7 minutes. You can do a cycle like this 3 times at a time, and you can do it 4 to 5 times in a day, especially because most of you are wearing masks right now. The danger of decreased oxygen levels, even without infections, can happen because of this. If you do this 4 to 5 times in a day, this regimen, your oxygen levels will definitely be up, and follow this with Simha Kriya so that your immune system will function much better. There is substantial medical evidence today to show that it actually works like this. Many universities have invested their research into this, so don't go on debating this, just put this into action. It is not an absolute cure or a preventive, but we must understand our health is not an absolute either. Our health is a consequence of many incremental steps that we take. Please take this step at these pandemic times and ensure, to whatever extent possible, that you do not become a victim, nor do you become a spreader. Namaskaram and thank you.
Please incorporate this practice in your daily life. This will help to keep oxygen levels up in your body, which is very important during these times. Now Sadhguru will guide us to Simha Kriya, a simple practice which will help to boost your immunity levels. Before you watch the video, please make sure you take care of these two things, that you do not attempt to practice when you are watching the video, so that your attention does not get diverted, and also avoid typing anything in the chat box. If you have any questions related to practice or something else, there will be time for questions towards the end of the session. Now Sadhguru will guide us. Please observe.
Simha Kriya. Ancient yogic techniques are known to have many benefits for the body, mind and energies. Sadhguru offers Simha Kriya, a simple but powerful yogic practice to boost the immunity and enhance our lung capacity. Sadhguru will be giving the instructions. It is important that you receive these instructions properly. Please dedicate the next 10 minutes exclusively for this process. Please do not attempt the practice while watching the video. First, listen to the complete instructions and then attempt the practice on your own.
So this is a simple practice for those of you who do not know any other powerful process. One thing is it will enhance your lung capacity. Another thing is, it'll enhance your immunity. And above all, if you can do it today, if you can do it for next 5 days, and suddenly one day you're not able to do it, this means definitely you got some respiratory problem. It doesn't matter what it is, you must have yourself checked if you suddenly find you're not able to do it. What it involves is that you have to fully stretch your tongue out with your mouth fully open and then breathe as powerfully as possible without jerking the abdomen, but powerful pushing in and pushing out, both inhalation, exhalation, 21 times. And when it is done, you roll up your tongue upward, push it as further back as you can. You don't have to use your hands, this is not a good time to use your hands. So roll up your tongue fully as much as you can by itself, like… and still with your mouth open, again breathe the same way. Inhalation, exhalation as powerfully as possible, but you must get the sound by making a constriction in your throat like this. The sound must be there, it's important that you form a constriction at the throat, at the pit of your throat and make the sound, and inhalation, exhalation, fully exhaling, fully inhaling as powerfully as you can, but without jerking the abdomen, another 21 times with the tongue rolled up. Throughout the whole process, you have your eyes closed, you inhale fully and simply sit there with the fullness of breath for 1 minute. If you are beyond a certain age or your breathing is not that good, at least 30 seconds. If you're not able to do 1 minute, a minimum of 30 seconds you stay there. When the day you're not able to do it, you must understand that there is some problem with your respiratory system and you must go for a checkup. Right now, I want you to just observe, don't do it, just observe and I will tell you how to go about the process. So what's being done is, one has to sit in a cross-legged posture, whichever way you can, whatever your body permits, and then use both the arms to push it up in such a way that your rib cage lifts off the diaphragm region, fully pushed up, and now extend your tongue fully out. like this 21 times. When it's done, then close your mouth, that also 21 times, then close your mouth. You exhale with your mouth closed, making the sound at the pit of your throat by creating a constriction. And then if you wish to sit quietly for some time with your eyes closed, do that, and then you can do whatever you're doing. This is a simple practice that anybody could do. You ensure your stomach is not too full, you must be somewhat hungry. Even if you're not totally empty stomach, at least you must be somewhat hungry kind of situation. So, this is a simple practice, particularly those of you who are exposed either because you are medical personnel or you're police or you're in some other service where you're exposed to infected people. Please make sure you do this will make a lot of difference for you.
Conditions for the practice. You should be somewhat hungry. Ideally, give at least 2.5 hours space between your last meal and the practice. Anyone between the age of 6 to 70 years can do the practice, regardless of their physiological and medical conditions. Those below 6 years of age and those above 70 years of age can also do the practice, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times. People with a brain hemorrhage or a brain tumor can do the practice, but they must do the breathing 12 times only, not 21 times. You can practice Simhakriya up to 3 times daily, ensuring you leave a minimum of 4 hours gap between 2 consecutive practices. Please do the practice exactly as instructed. Do not make any changes or modifications to it, such as increasing the count.
Now we will do some Maxima Kriya together with Sadhguru's guidance. Please keep your eyes closed throughout the practice. And also now request everyone to turn on your cameras so that I can see you practicing. So that if there are any connections that needs to be given post-practice, I can observe and give. So take a moment now to turn on your cameras. Sadhguru will guide us through the practice.
Sit in a cross-legged posture. Place your palms facing downward upon your thighs, close to the knees. Use both your arms to push your body upward in such a way that your rib cage lifts off the diaphragm region. Close your eyes. Open your mouth wide and extend your tongue out fully. Breathe in and out powerfully, moving the abdomen muscles but without jerking the abdomen. With full inhalations and exhalations, making the sound from the pit of your throat. Do this 21 times. If you happen to be over 60 years of age, Do it 12 times only. Roll your tongue upwards, push it as far back as you can towards the uvula. With an open mouth, breathe the same way, inhalation and exhalation as powerfully as possible, making the sound from the pit of your throat. Do this 21 times or 12 times if you happen to be over 60 years of age. Close your mouth, inhale fully and hold your breath. Simply sit there, holding your breath with the fullness of breath for 1 minute or a minimum of 30 seconds. Hold your breath as long as it's comfortable for you. When you feel like exhalation, exhale through the nostrils with your mouth closed, making the sound at the pit of your throat. You can sit there quietly for some time and open your eyes when you feel like it.
So good to see you people of every gender attempting to practice. So hope the experience of… So while we were doing the practice, I've been observing a few clarification. Uh, the whole process is divided into three phases. First phase, you extend the tongue fully out with your rib cage lift off from the diaphragm region, and it will stay so throughout the practice. For few of us, that was not happening. So please be aware that the rib cage will stay lifted off from the diaphragm region throughout the practice. Now for the phase one, you extend your tongue out and inhale powerfully, as powerfully as you can, without jerking the abdomen. Don't do it here. Now in the second phase, you do that 21 times, and after that, you roll your tongue up and push it as far as back as you can, and you breathe the same powerfully inhalation and exhalation, making the sound from the pit of the throat by constricting the throat. This is pit of throat. Now for the third phase, you keep your tongue rolled up only and you close your mouth and you inhale fully and hold this fullness of breath for 1 minute or minimum of 30 seconds. Then when you feel like exhaling, you exhale through the nostril, making the sound from the pit of the throat by making a constriction. Once that is done, you can sit quietly for some time if you wish to. So this is the whole practice. We hope you enjoyed through this session. These practices are available on Sadhguru app and on YouTube. When you do them on your own, you can watch the video for first few times until you get comfortable with the instructions. After that, it would be best to do them on your own. We will be posting the link to some common questions which are frequently asked about these practices in the chat window towards the end of the session. Apart from doing these practices, you can also consume neem, turmeric, kashayam, amla, etc. to boost your immunity. We will be also posting a detailed list of immunity boosting tips which you can make use of at the end of the session. Now I'll be posting this link. Give me a moment. So I have posted the link which you can make use of, which has videos related to the practices that we learned today, which you can refer when you watch that. But make sure until you get comfortable with the instruction, you watch the videos for initial few times, and after that, do it on your own. It also has immunity boosting tips, which I was talking about. Now, if you have any questions related to practice, you can ask now in the chat window. We'll take a few questions only. And if you would not be able to answer the rest of the questions, then I will provide me my supporting email ID and the cell phone number, which you can make use of to ask any questions later as well. So you can post your questions now if you have any.
Anyone having any questions, you can please post it in the chat box. Any questions regarding the practice shared in the session today?
Okay, if no questions,
Right.
can we increase the number of times? I'm assuming you're asking about number of times of the breath count. If that is so, no. So one thing, be aware about this, whatever way the instructions are given, make sure you stick to that instruction only. So if it is given 21 times, you stick to 21. Even if you are able to, if you're capable of doing that, do not do that. Stick to 21 or 12, depending on whether you are of a particular age or having a brain injury or a hemorrhage condition. Then you reduce it to 12 times. Otherwise, keep it 21 if you have that capability. Semakriya during pregnancy, someone is asking. Question seems to be incomplete, but I'm assuming, can we do it during pregnancy or not? Answer is yes, you can do it during pregnancy or any chronic diseases like asthma, heart conditions. So you can do that practice. It's okay. Someone is asking how much time you have to do this in this practice. So this practice, you can do it 3 times a day, leaving a gap of minimum of 4 hours between 2 consecutive practices. But make sure, so the precondition to do this practice is you maintain a somewhat hungry condition, which is a light stomach condition. What that means is you leave a gap of 2.5 hours between two full meals. Minimum of 1.5 hours between two snacks. So a snack, I have been giving this example, is not a burger or pizza. It's a somewhat a fruit or some cookies if you take that snack. So you can leave a gap of 1.5 hours. And then 1 hour gap if you take any beverages like tea, coffee, cold drink, etc. Then you would leave a gap of 1 hour. Water is okay, so you can take it before the gap. Someone is asking 3 times compulsory to do this exercise. No, it's not compulsory. It is best that you maintain it that way. But if you are not able to, your capability is not allowing that. So you see how you work towards that. For holding more thoughts, what can do? Pihu, you may want to clarify your question, but I understood that question. You mean holding the breath or thoughts?
I think throat. It must be the throat.
Throat, okay. For holding more throats, what can do? Again, that is not
How
clarified.
to hold the tongue or something. With thoughts should be.
You would just clarify whatever is in mind. Let me go to the next question.
Maybe
Why?
to concentrate, she's saying. How can we concentrate more? Maybe she's saying that.
So concentrate while doing the practice?
Yeah, how to concentrate.
That's a very good question if she's asking. So one thing is about any yogic practice. See, yogic practices are not merely physical exercises. In this case, this pranayama, for example. So this is not simply doing breath and up and down, in and out. So the whole idea of yogic practice is doing it with full awareness. So what that means is whenever you are doing this breath 21 times, you keep your focus completely on your breath. It will be much more effective. You'll feel the difference. You do it with or without the awareness, you'll feel the difference by yourself. So you be conscious and do it that way. You keep your focus on your breath and then do the practice. The impact which will be much more deeper. And that is the real sense of yogic practices. To enhance your inner awareness. And you'll see much more things can happen internally once your inner awareness gets deep. Sir, can we drink water in between? No, avoid that. So any yoga practice, not about this yoga practice, but any hatha yoga practice, especially the classical hatha yoga practices, water is strictly a no. Why? Because generally when we do any yoga practice, the ushna, which is more of a, you can relate it to heat. English word corresponding to that could be heat, but it's somewhat closer, not exactly heat. So generally ushna is generated in the body. So when you drink water, that ushna drops down, right? And it may lead to injury ultimately, depending on. So you may want to keep the body on somewhat ushna side. That's why we don't drink water in between. Which is the preferable place, indoor or outdoor? You choose that. You decide that. Both are fine as long as the air is clean. So if you're doing it outside and air is not clean, there's no sense. Then I'll suggest do it indoors with proper ventilation. And if it is indoor and ventilation is not there and you can do it in park, then it's fine. And if the air is clean and you can breathe easily. Sorry if I missed any questions. There are too many questions pouring in, and if you are scrolled up, so you may want to type your question or copy this question again if I missed anyone. Can we take water immediately after the practice? This is again, so a lot of questions you will directly get the answers in your FAQ, which I already shared on that link which I have shared. There are both these practices, Ashtanga and Sema Kriya. You will see lot many FAQs are directly clear. So all this question whether I can do it in pregnancy or water before and after, how should be the condition, precondition, how should I maintain the light stomach condition, all those questions are already answered. We go through them anyway if you have any questions even after that. So I am now putting that in my chat box, my supporting email ID which you can refer back to me if they have any questions related to this practice, or for that matter, any other yoga practice. So there are lot many hatha yoga practices which are taught in classical way, which are having much more deeper impact. But to start with, you can start with this simple practice.
Thank you so much, Rajiv ji. And on that note, I would request Principal Ma'am to give her closing address and a vote of thanks.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, everyone. Good afternoon, dear parents and my lovely students. And a very, very hearty welcome and a thanks to all the Isha Foundation volunteers and to Miss Tulika, who brought forward it to us in our school. I would start with a small little note of Sadhguru ji. He always says that learning is like flowering. And this is what you volunteers are doing, that you are trying to spread his lovely message, because we also in a school believe that knowledge is all about sharing and caring. So on this note, I think Manasthiti and Isha, we are also trying to take the same footsteps what Sadhguruji is trying to preach all across the globe. Wonderful way of telling us in this pandemic times. For me, I think, and to all our lovely children and parents who are sitting us, right now, pandemic corona is all about what type of air we all inhale and exhale. So let's all inhale sabr. Let's all have little patience onto it, that how we all are going to deal with this situation. And we all have to exhale shukr, that let's all be thankful to the Almighty, whatever we have got. I know many of us might have got disturbed with our near and dear ones, but still God has been kind. He would be kind, and we are very thankful to the blessings of the Almighty. On this note, a very from my fraternity, from my teachers and my staff, my parents and my children, a big thank you to Isha Foundation and to all the volunteers, Rajiv Kalra ji and Sharad Goel ji, and a big, big thanks to Tulika for bringing it forward. It was not only a demonstration, but it was also actually experiencing the lovely values that Sadhguru ji gives. Thank you so much.
And just one last thing. So if you want to stay connected with us or share the feedback about the session, you can do so. I'm just pinging a link. There's a form over there. Yeah. So just after the session, take some moment to feel free to share the feedback. And if you want to listen from tips on any other health practices or the further events, so you could show your consent over there as well. It was wonderful being with all of you. Please make use of these practices. Looking forward to have you with us.